Damn, these color rush jerseys are as bright as all these lights. Roll the intro for Kleschka Picks, week number 8.
Let's go, let's go!
Bills and Buccaneers, Thursday Night Football. Both of these teams surprisingly taking losses last week. The Bills lost to the Patriots. The Buccaneers lost to the Falcons. Both of these teams are going to be looking to get back on track. And I think the one that we are all more shocked about is the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. We know how crazy that combo can be, and the team as a whole. I don't know what's been going on with them lately, but they have been in a rut. And the Buccaneers have been a surprise with Baker Mayfield, but I don't think they're going to be the one returning to form this week. I think it'll be the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. I think their offense is going to wake up and return to form eventually, and I think this will be Bills winning 24-20. Texans and Panthers. Both teams were on a bye week last week. The Texans have been quite a surprise, and it's looking like C.J. Stroud is adjusting week by week and getting better and better in the NFL. The Carolina Panthers, they just look like they're getting worse and worse every week, haven't picked up a single win, and with C.J. Stroud feeling comfortable in his offense, I think we are going to see the Texans come off the bye week better than the Panthers, win this game 27-17. Rams and Cowboys. The Rams lost to the Steelers last week in the final quarter, and the Cowboys were on a bye week. I think the Cowboys getting a bye week is a dangerous thing. Dak Prescott gives him more time to get locked in. CeeDee Lamb, after expressing his feelings about his game on the field, really got the attention of Dak Prescott, and they got him involved. And Tony Pollard is always going to be there to lead the backfield. So with that offense looking pretty good, and the Rams kind of being inconsistent this year, I think I'm going to give it to the Cowboys here, 31-24. Vikings and Packers. The Packers lost in the final minutes last week against the Broncos. Jordan Love threw an interception to end the game and lose. The Vikings beat the 49ers. Quite a surprise. They stepped up late in the game. Kirk Cousins was solid, throwing for tons of yards as he always does, and I think that'll be the case this week with the veteran of Kirk Cousins and the guys around him in his offense stepping up while Justin Jefferson is out. I think they are going to get the win over the Packers, beating them 27-20. Saints and Colts. The Saints lost last week on Thursday Night Football. They looked like they were going to get destroyed, but they actually started to wake up the longer the game went on. Made it a close one. Had a touchdown that could have done it for them, but it was dropped by Foster Moreau right there in his hands. And the Colts, they lost in the final seconds last week to the Browns. It was a crazy high-scoring game there where they came out on the wrong end, but I don't think that'll be the case this week. Derek Carr keeps getting beat up week after week, and the defense has not been holding too strong for the past couple weeks for the Saints, and I think we are starting to see the Colts starting to roll now with Gardner Minshew getting a bit of a groove and Jonathan Taylor back in this offense. Give me the Colts winning 24-17. Dolphins and Patriots. The Dolphins finally had a great challenge last week against the Eagles, and they looked pretty good early on, but the longer it went on, the Eagles ran away with it. Dolphins took the loss, but that was a challenge I believe they needed if they are going to be one of the top teams in football. The Patriots, they beat one of the top teams that we're used to seeing. They beat the Bills last week. That was surprising. I don't think that'll be the case this week. Too much of a high-octane offense for the Miami Dolphins. Usually you'd say that about the Bills, but it hasn't been the case this season, so the Patriots got their number last week. Don't think they'll have the number of the Dolphins this week. I think we see them continue to wreak havoc with Tyreek Hill, and we see the Patriots fall back to where we were seeing them before with little offense and the Dolphins just running all over them, winning 30-20. Giants and Jets. The Jets were on a bye week last week, and I told you their defense is going to be the thing that keeps them in games moving forward. We've seen them win games because of their defense this year. Imagine if they had Aaron Rodgers and they had that offense clicking on all cylinders. Then you had the Giants, who barely beat the Commanders, who have honestly looked better since Tyrod Taylor took over for Daniel Jones. And he did have Saquon Barkley come back around that time as well, but I don't think either of those guys will matter here. I think that Jets defense is going to stand strong, and I think we are going to see the Jets offense do a good enough job to pick up the victory here, and they win this Battle of New York just pick up the victory, 23-17. Jaguars and Steelers. The Steelers won with a final touchdown in the fourth quarter, and their defense held strong. And then you have the Jags, who won on Thursday Night Football. Offense is looking good. Etienne, Lawrence, they are leading the way. And this week, I think that strong Jacksonville offense is going to continue to help them win football games. I think the Steelers are going to be right there. Going to be a close game, but I think through all four quarters, it's going to be too late. I think the Jags offense will have stacked up enough points by then, and the Steelers don't really even get going until late in the game anyway, so I think that'll be a tough task for them. Give me the Jags winning this one, 27-23. Falcons and Titans. The Falcons won last week, beating the Buccaneers. The Titans were on a bye week, and a rested Derrick Henry is always a good thing, and the Titans, they're the most roller coaster team I've ever seen in all of football. They have the best of games, then they go down to the bottom and have the worst garbage games you've ever seen. But going up against the Falcons, I think they'll be able to handle that defense. I think it's going to be a good day for Derrick Henry, and Ryan Tannehill will be able to involve his receivers all over the place. I actually think it'll be a high-scoring affair for the Titans. I think they get everybody involved offensively, and I think the Titans win 31-20. Eagles and Commanders. Eagles won last week against the Dolphins. The Eagles proved through all four quarters that they are the better team, especially going up against the Dolphins, who everybody is looking at as this new super team. They were put in their place by the Eagles. They have a better team to handle all four quarters of football, and they showed it last week. More experienced, more together as a team. They have a better chemistry, and that definitely showed, especially Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. Then we got the Commanders, who looked absent, were not seen last week against the Giants. Obviously a very frustrated team, and I think this week the frustrations will continue, but I do think they will actually make it close, because we have seen these Eagles games where they have trouble in the red zone. Jalen Hurts is turning the ball over more this year, and I think that'll allow the Commanders to actually keep pace with them, because their defense has actually been allowing a good amount of points as well. But I do think the Eagles are strong enough to win this, and I think they pick up the victory 30-27. Seahawks and Browns. My Seahawks won last week against the Cardinals. We leaned heavily on our rookies, Jackson Njigba Smith, and then Jake Bobo. Both got in the end zone. Good for them. Happy to see that. And the Browns, they won with that Kareem Hunt touchdown in the final seconds to get that victory against the Colts. This week, I think the Seahawks are going to be fine going up against the Browns here. Whether it is Deshaun Watson playing quarterback or Walker, I don't think it'll matter. I think the offense is going to click on all cylinders. I think we are going to see a pretty similar game that the Browns had against the Colts, where it's just an offensive battle. But I think the Seahawks come out on top, winning this one 33-23. Ravens and Cardinals. The Cardinals lost to my Seahawks last week, and the Ravens played the Lions and made me think we were watching the Lions from 10 years ago. Lions were absolutely terrible, as the Ravens absolutely dominated them offensively. You saw Mark Andrews get heavily involved, and Lamar Jackson using his ability to rush and pass obviously was a very good thing for them last week, and I think that continues here. If they were able to do that against the Lions, going up against the Cardinals, I think it's going to be a massacre. I think we see just a bit of the same of what we saw last week, where Lamar Jackson is in full control and the Cardinals will not be able to keep pace with the Ravens, and how Lamar Jackson runs this team. So give me the Ravens beating the Cardinals 40-21. Chiefs and Broncos. The Chiefs beat the Chargers last week. The Broncos won last week on a game-winning interception. And I know we just saw these two play, and it really didn't go as crazy as we thought it would, but I think that changes this time. The Chiefs definitely will learn from their mistakes, and they will tear apart the Broncos, in my opinion. Patrick Mahomes was clicking on all cylinders last week. He had everything going, and so did Travis Kelce. He had probably his best game of the entire season, and I think we will see the Broncos struggle. The Chiefs are building a high momentum right now, and they are going to carry that into this week against Denver, beating them 33-17. Bengals and 49ers. The Bengals were on a bye week last week, and the 49ers have not looked like themselves. They lost back-to-back games against the Browns and the Vikings, very unlike the 49ers, and the Bengals have not looked like themselves either, but maybe the bye week is exactly what they needed. Give Joe Burrow some time to heal up. I think the 49ers are going to be fine. That defense is still very good for them, even though they have been let down the past 2 weeks. I think it's mainly been due to Brock Purdy not having the offensive attack that they want. And I think we are going to see which team is going to turn their season around right here, because the 49ers started off so high and have gone down so far in the past couple of weeks. The Bengals have never really gotten to the point that we know they can be. So this is going to tell the story this week. I think the 49ers defense shuts down Joe Burrow when they're going to need him most late in the game, and that is going to be the key factor. And I think Christian McCaffrey plays a huge role in the 49ers picking up their win. So give me the Niners beating the Bengals 27-23. Chargers and Bears. The Chargers lost last week in Arrowhead. They stayed in the game early, but eventually the Chiefs would pull away, and their offense would be too much to handle for the Chargers defense that I've said many times gives up too many points. I think that'll actually be the case this week as well, whether it's Justin Fields or Badgett, who picked up the win last week for the Bears. Made a lot of Bears fans actually happy. They couldn't believe it. They're like, oh my God, a win? No way. And then the Chargers, their offensive attack is great, but that defense will give up a ton of points. I don't think the offense of the Bears will be able to take advantage of the defense giving up so many points. I still think the Chargers offense will be able to carry them all the way to the end, and I just think it's the lack of offense for the Bears that won't be able to keep up. So give me the Chargers winning 30-24. Lions and Raiders. The Lions were not the Lions we have seen this year. They were absolutely terrible last week, took an L, and the Raiders also took an L to the Bears. Their offense was not clicking. I'm sure they want Jimmy Garoppolo back. Not sure what the case for him is as I film this, but I think the Lions just had one little fluke week, and we'll see them get back to the defense where they dominate, turn the ball over, and Jared Goff will get back to his form, hitting his weapons like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, get them all involved again, and get a rebound game here against the Raiders. I don't think the Lions we saw last week is the Lions we're going to see for the rest of the season. I think it was just one little bump in this season-long road. Give me the Lions winning this one 33-20. If you made it to the end of this video, Kleschka Crew, then I want you to comment your favorite uniform in all of the NFL. It could be from your favorite team, or maybe there's another team out there where you're like, those are sweet. Obviously, I love the Seahawks dark blue navy uniforms. That's my favorite. But if I had to pick another one, I think I'm going with the white Tiger Bengals uniforms. Those are sweet. Like the video, subscribe, tell your mom, your dad, grandma, grandpa, pets, friends, brothers, sister, and uncle, everybody you know to subscribe. If they haven't already, I got this, you got this, we all got this, and I'll see you next time.